Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
Well, we did agree.
Kasparian is slamming Morning Joe for going to Trump's house. These people have been reporting on Donald Trump for the last, I think, possibly 8 years, probably calling him every horrible name in the book. And then over the weekend went to his house for dinner, and they tried to pretend like they're opening up communications to Donald Trump. But they really want to get back to kiss the rings because their job is on the line right here. So basically, as you all know, Kasparian is often exposing the left, especially MSNBC. And Kasparian will not stop there until they actually realize that what they're doing is wrong. So Kasparian, as you all know, is independent from the Young Turks, is now go ahead and also further exposing the left, like Mika Kaczynski and Joe Scarborough. And Kasparian does not hold back, as she never does. So that's what I like about Kasparian, even though I don't agree with her politically. But other than that, here's Kasparian destroying the Morning Joe. And also, if you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notifications, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates.
On was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike.
Well, the hosts over at Morning Joe are facing quite a bit of backlash after they decided to visit Donald Trump for a delightful meal over at Mar-a-Lago following Trump's victory in the presidential election, of course. And this is after they basically spent years calling him a dangerous dictatorial man. Now, they said that they talked about many issues, including abortion, mass deportations, and the threats of retribution against political and media opponents. And here's their explanation as to why they decided to work with Trump after years of fear-mongering about his authoritarian nature.
In this meeting, President Trump was tearful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? 5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote. Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Now, President-elect Donald Trump has also confirmed that this meeting did in fact take place. And in an interview with Fox News, he says many things were discussed, and I very much appreciated the fact that they wanted to have open communication. In many ways, it's too bad that it wasn't done long ago. He added that they congratulated me on running a great and flawless campaign, one for the history books, which I really believe it was, but it was also a campaign where I worked long and hard, that's what she said, perhaps longer and harder than any presidential candidate in history. Now, according to Fox News, the president-elect also said that he has an obligation to the American public and to our country itself to be open and available to the press. Admirable thing to say, but then he continues, if not treated fairly, however, that will end. The media is very important to the long-term success of the United States of America. Fox and Friends also made sure to heap praise on Trump for agreeing to meet with the Morning Joe crew, calling him magnanimous. And now Mika and Joe are getting a lot of backlash, which we'll give you a little taste of in just a minute. But before you guys hear everyone else's comments about this, you should hear what Cenk has to say. Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so look, this one's complicated for 2 reasons. So first, should you reach out on things that you agree on? Well, of course you should. So I've never understood this thing where people that are either Democrats or on the left say, no, out of spite, we shouldn't work with Trump.
I'm trying to figure out, what does Trump and Mika and Joe agree with? That's what I'm wondering. There's a lot of stuff they disagree on, but I'm curious to know, what do they agree on? Let's go ahead and get right back into the video.
On things that we agree with them on, like anti-war. Why? Why not take the win? Take the win, right? So if Trump agrees with me on something, I'm not gonna fight him just because he's Trump or on the other team. That's crazy, right? I would in fact help to try to get those things passed, as long as we agree, right? Now, do you think that Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski went there to fight for paid family leave, fight for the anti-war position, fight for some policy? No, they went to go fight for their own ass.
100%.
So all they're doing is kissing up to him now to get access. So proof's always gonna be in the pudding. So you'll see us criticize Trump, and you'll see us agree on the rare occasions that we agree. And you saw us doing that when we, during Trump 1, during all of these years, right? Those guys, on the other hand, Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler. Oh, Trump won? Time to kiss some ass, go down to Mar-a-Lago, have some breakfast, etc. And Trump said, well, we agreed on some cabinet picks. I'm sure you did, the corporate ones. Rubio, Stefanik, etc. They were probably like, oh, corporate tax cuts. They're gonna be right back on board with Trump, in it, as you'll see in a minute, right? So you think they're gonna hold him accountable? No, their whole shtick is kiss the ass of the powerful. So this is not at all surprising.
Well, Joe Scarborough was very friendly to Donald Trump when he was first running for president in 2016. I don't know what exactly happened that made their relationship go south. Scarborough certainly soured on Donald Trump, but look, I think that it's likely, you're right, that they want access to Trump. There's also some possibility that they're genuinely worried that Trump might come after them, because he has threatened people in the media who have, in his words, been unfair to him. So who knows? I mean, look, Mika Brzezinski just a few weeks ago was on The View breaking down about the prospect of Donald Trump winning the election, because she was so afraid of the fascists taking over.
Like, yeah, no, and I thought the same thing. This is much lower probability, in my opinion, but it's not impossible. They thought, yeah, he might lock up his political opponents, so let's make sure that we're not part of the resistance, that we go tell him we will serve him loyally as long as he doesn't do anything to us, right? And so why did they turn on him? Trump did his usual personal insults to Mika Brzezinski, etc. And so I don't, right? I don't mind Mika and Joe Scarborough catching feelings over that. That's fine, nothing wrong with that. And also they're on MSNBC, so they had to pretend to be against Donald Trump. In reality, they don't care at all. All they care about is tax cuts for the rich and the establishment and the status quo. And if Trump gives it to them, they're ecstatic about it. If the Democrats give it to them, they're ecstatic about it. And as long as they're at the epicenter of the establishment, they're happy as they can be. They've never really cared.
But let's just break this down here further. You see, yes, they're going ahead and trying to meet with Trump to kiss out to him and everything. I agree, because of the fact that Trump has been right all along, and the fact of the matter is they're scared that he's going to go ahead and get them. But also, let's go ahead and break down the further evidence as to why they should be going ahead and meeting him. First and foremost, different world leaders and stuff announced that they want to go ahead and do peace talks in these wars, and also look forward to working with Trump as well. And the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that MSNBC now has Joe and Mika going to meet him, not only to kiss up to him, but also say their jobs, because the fact of the matter is there's world leaders looking to go ahead and work with him right now. So let's go ahead and further hear what Anna Kasparian has to say about this as well. So
here is how everyone else reacted to the news that they had that dinner at Mar-a-Lago.
The grotesque fawning and rationalizing for a man who is promising, in his words, to be an autocrat. A general who served as Donald Trump's longest serving chief of staff said, yes, he's a fascist. You have Donald Trump, who was hostile for so long to NATO.
Right, still is.
Who embraced authoritarian thugs, and the least democratic and the most authoritarian leader in Europe, Viktor Orban. This is Donald Trump's hero in Europe. It's who he says he wants to be like. This is not a reach. I could go back and talk about Nazi Germany, and I'd do it I do it without any concerns whatsoever. And if people can't start drawing the parallels, well, you're just stupid, or you have your head in the sand, or you're one of them. Do I think that Donald Trump's going to be allowed to line people up against the wall and shoot them? No, he'd like to. No doubt. I know him, and I've known him for a long time, and we can see this. He would like to. He's not going to be allowed to. But if he says, I'm going to take the FEC and I'm going to bring it into the White House and I'm going to decide who's going to be on TV and who's not going to be on TV,
believe him.
So all those comments that Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough made prior to the election has now led to people dunking on them. And I will allow it because it's totally justified. Scott Jennings writes on Twitter, Hitler getting a lot more meeting requests than I would have thought. You have Republicans against Trump saying this is why people don't trust the mainstream media anymore. Bingo. Joe and Mika, who constantly attack fascist Trump on their show, went to Mar-a-Lago to talk with Trump over the weekend. And look, some Trump fans felt differently. They see that this could be just a new era in America where the media is a little more fair to Trump. So Piers Morgan, for instance, says, wow, wasn't expecting this, but good for them. America needs to come together again. But the damage has been done. Okay, so I look, you know how I felt about the fear mongering that was taking place among Democrats and their mouthpieces in cable news. Just lean into fear, scare the bejesus out of American voters about Trump. He's Hitler, he's a fascist, he's gonna come for you, he's gonna put us in internment camps. Not only does this totally deteriorate trust in the media, but even worse, look, we oftentimes talk about right-wingers who use violent rhetoric that could inspire people who are not all there, right? People who might have some mental issues, mental illnesses, to carry out acts of violence. So how is it any different when Democrats do it? It's not okay. Like calling him Hitler and like talking about like how he's gonna put people, in internment camps or he would like to line people up and shoot them.
Yeah.
Anna Kasparian hit the nail on the head once again. Now, this is the same left and everything. The Democrats, as well as even the never Trumper Republicans and stuff, they're going ahead and now realizing, oh no, we're losing, we've lost, it's over for us. And some people in the media are like, oh no, our job's on the line. And then there's also woke left-leaning, content creators out there who are losing a lot of subscribers and followers and stuff because of the fact that they were wrong about the election. Now, the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that this is beyond, talk about, our president-elect number 47, 45, like just for like the sake of ratings. But now they're looking to go ahead and talk with him face to face. And basically, it's like, can't interview Trump the same way you did before, where you constantly push it back against him and then not give him a chance to answer questions. But now you see that you went wrong somewhere and the damage is already done. Trump got receipts for everything, okay? The way they've treated him. And the fact of the matter is, Anna Kasparian is definitely right. Anna Kasparian once again hit the nail on the head. And Anna Kasparian is basically saying everything that we've already thought about before. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts when I have this particular topic. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share the video far and wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.